We are live for high school hoops now in the second quarter of the district championship between Creekside and Flagler Palm Coast. The Knights leading 19 to 11 here. Yusuf El Madawi headed to the line. 6:54 on the clock in the second quarter. El Madawi, the Knights' best free throw shooter, misses on his first attempt. Coming over from girls soccer, where the Knights unfortunately losing to Winter Park, ending their season. A great run for the Knights. Ends in PKs. As over here at basketball, we've got the Knights trying to capture their third straight district title and maybe secure the 1 seed in their region. Up by 9. Around and down, 20-13. Nolan Nelson going on the drive up to the rack, off the backboard, grabs his own rebound, finds Blaylock, little floater, he got it. Nate Sean Royal with the ball. Fires a 3. That's no good. Battle for the rebound. Creekside's got it. Coach Chris Patterson talked about how important those defensive boards are going to be in those games. And this one specifically, Flagler Palm Coast really benefits from second chance buckets, and that battle down low between Roman Calindo and Nolan Nelson going to be exciting as Yusuf El Madawi hits a 3. Timeout, Flagler Palm Coast. Knights up by 12. 5:35 to go in the second quarter when we return on Schlick Sports. Second quarter of action, 25-13, Creekside leading Flagler Palm Coast in the district championship. Nate Sean Royal with the ball. Hands it off to Anthony Hampton. He's the top scorer on this Bulldogs team. Averages nearly 17 a game as a 3-ball away. No good. Nelson with the rebound. Nolan Nelson in a battle. Roman Canlindo, massive kid. And that's the words of head coach Chris Patterson. Great play by Rivers, though they rule it Flagler ball. I'm not sure. Rivers looked to throw it off of him, must have stepped out of bounds beforehand. Creekside did not agree with that call. Royal slipped up, kept his dribble, finds Hampton. Watson. Back to Royal. Devin Mahler with the ball, trying to go on the drive. Unsuccessfully hands it off to Royal. Pull up, jump shot just inside the 3-point line. Nolan Nelson grabs the rebound. Man, we just went live here in the second quarter. I think Nelson's got 4 rebounds in that span. He's coming off a game against Atlantic Coast in which he had 25 boards on 20 points is Patterson, who was red hot in the district semis. Nails a three, making it a 15-point game, then steals it away. Desa to Patterson. Rivers for three. That's no good. Nate Sean Royal in transition finds Hampton. His three is no good. Creekside in control. Patterson takes the three. He got it! Cade Patterson! Money from distance in this district tournament. 31-13. Royal goes behind the back, trying to lose Patterson. Nearly stolen by Rivers. Able to find Mahler. Mahler looking for options. Watson able to keep it in play. Corinthians Watson stolen away. Nelson to Patterson. And a foul will be called against Nate Sean Royal. Sorry, we've still got regional semifinals up on the scorebug. It's the district championship. If you're just tuning in and weren't earlier, we're carrying girls soccer 20 minutes ago over at the football soccer track stadium at Creekside. Made the journey over here to the gym on the other side of campus and made the turnaround. We are live for the district championship game. Creekside on a 10-game win streak and in command of this one over the Bulldogs. Blaylock wide open under the basket, kisses it in off the glass. A 20-point lead for the Creekside Knights. When we went live, it was the second quarter. It was about a 7-point game, maybe 9. Since then, Creekside has been on a tear. Blaylock to add on. He got it. 35-13. Corinthians Watson Jr. Pajan hands it off. Hampton gets it back outside, now going on the drive with it. Murphy to the rack and headed to the line. (35-13) Creekside is our score. First foul shot, no good from Zach Murphy, who came into this one a 42% free throw shooter. Good on his second free throw, now 35-14. Bryce Seymour with the ball coming across half court. Nolan Nelson with it, right corner. Rivers for three, no good. Reach in against Garen Blaylock. 1:37 to go in this first half, 35-14, a 21-point advantage for the Creekside Knights. Murphy, guarded by Patterson. Going to work. Into the paint. Teardrop, no good. Nelson with the rebound. Patterson. For three. Bullseye! Cade Patterson cannot miss. He is on another planet. Off the iron and out. Fade away down low. That doesn't go. Third chance Third time's a charm from Josiah Sanders. And now stolen right back, falling to the ground. Someone's got to get this ball. Ends up with the Bulldogs, a messy sequence, and a block by Patterson. And a turnover, nearly by the Knights. I did not think that was touched by Flagler Palm Coast. 21.2 to play in the first half. 38-16 Knights come into this one 17-7. 10-0 since they were at 7-7 in December. Flagler Palm Coast 15-11. They've been good this season. The Knights have just been better in this one. And this, of course, far from over. A lot can happen. 5 seconds to play in the first half. Royal off the front iron, and that will take us to the half. Our score, Creekside 38 and Flagler Palm Coast 16 as we hit the half on Schlick Sports. Back for the third quarter of action. 38-16 Creekside with the lead in the district championship. Yusuf El-Madawi unable to convert on the teardrop. Creekside with a 22-point lead. Playing absolutely phenomenal in this district championship matchup. Red hot as of late and seemingly can do no wrong. Won some close games. Coming off of a nice 72-49 game against AC. And I guess can do no wrong is a bit of an overstatement. Bit of a slow start against AC, but the Knights quickly turned that around after struggling with some turnovers early on and really just a messy start to the game, but they settled in. They got back to kind of what they've been doing all season. They made some uncharacteristic mistakes, and talking with Coach Patterson about it, he said there was a few plays where he was like, we haven't done that all season. I expanded on it, said I thought it was a moment of clarity for the kids. As doesn't matter who your opponent is, we got to do what we do. Knights went on to win that game by a large margin and now up by 20 in the district championship. Nice finish by Josiah Sanders as this one far from over. Still an 18-point game, and Chris Patterson knows it. A fiery timeout called. Back after this break on Schlick Sports. (38-20) Knights with the lead, but not happy with their start to the second half. Flagler Palm Coast able to go on a little 4-0 run, and Knights looking to correct some things after a couple turnovers and not so good possessions as Rivers wide open from distance, and he is money. 41-20, back to a 20-plus point advantage for the Knights at 21. Too short on the jumper, able to grab his own rebound was Nate Sean Royal. Second chance bucket, no good. Nelson to Desa. El-Madawi on the block, pump fake, a shot. They're gonna call it a travel. Took an extra step. I didn't see that call coming right there. Anthony Hampton trying to spark a comeback. Mahler. Right wing. Royal into the paint. Kicks back outside. Going on the drive. Sanders rejected by Nelson. Nelson forward to Blaylock. Kind of behind him. Had to slow down. Come to a stop to receive the pass. Blaylock over to Desa. Lucas Desa to Derek Rivers. Baseline drive. Turns around. Feeds Blaylock. Blaylock's got to get out of the lane. He took a step out. Gets out to Patterson. Nelson for three. He is too strong on that one. .440 to go in the third quarter. Jump shot just inside the three-point arc. Looks like it's going to be a foul against Creekside. The Knights, a big key for them was limiting second chance opportunities, and they were doing a really nice job of that in the second quarter. But here, coming out of the halftime break, Flagler Palm Coast battling down low, getting a lot of offensive rebounds. Creekside can't allow that to continue. That's how you let them back into the game. Nice play by Bryce Seymour. Heads up, throws it off of Calindo. Rivers comes across half court. Nolan Nelson stepped out of bounds. No travel. Another one that's in my naked eye up here. Didn't see the travel coming. I guess they're watching that first step closely. Nice job on the screen there, setting that tough from Calindo, and it set up the bucket. Timeout, Flagler Palm Coast. 41-22, 4:08 on the clock in the third quarter when we return. Back after the timeout, 41-22 Creekside. Blaylock with a little pump fake, feeds Elma Dowie. Congratulations to the Creekside girls basketball team who won their district title before this matchup. 4 playoff games going on in one night here at Creekside High School. A basketball doubleheader and a soccer doubleheader. Derek Rivers with the ball. Elma Dowie. Knights swinging it around the perimeter, trying to feed Elma Dowie. Yusuf. Pump fake, a drive. A dish to Nelson. Now Rivers on the drive. Rivers with the finish. (43-22). Another block from Nolan Nelson. Knights get the ball back. Bryce Seymour out to Nelson. Elma Dowie down low. Nice little reverse on the finish. 45-22. Patterson on for Elma Dowie. 2:28 on the clock in the third quarter. This game not just a district implications, obviously, at the championship, but the Knights in a race for the 1 seed. In the latest rankings, they sat less than a point behind Apopka. In the state rankings, the hundreds of teams, Creekside was 42, Apopka was 41. Since then, Creekside has not lost. Apopka lost by 9 to Bartow since the last rankings drop. So my guess would be if Creekside wins tonight, the chances of them securing the 1 seed are extremely high, as that's going to be a half-court violation. It doesn't take much for those ratings to change in a schedule. And now Bartow is a good team, which is, it wouldn't be as big of a drop for Apopka. The brackets will release tomorrow, and we'll just have to wait and see. First things first, Creekside has got to finish this one off. The officials conferencing now. And it looks like the inbound will go on as it was originally set up. Blaylock gets it into Nolan Nelson. Hands it to Derek Rivers. Spinning around, Nelson up with the shot, and he's going to the line. Calindo playing him physical. He's 6'5", plenty of muscle on him. I was going over Flagler Palm Coast with Coach Patterson. He described Calindo as kind of the physique of an NFL linebacker almost. Maybe a college linebacker. Those NFL linebackers are pretty gigantic. That's not a bad comparison. He's built like a linebacker. And linebacker himself, Nolan Nelson, hits that free throw, now 46-22. Not often you see a 6'8" linebacker, but Nelson had himself a really nice playoff game this year. Good season as a sophomore. The Knights have got a good history of dual sport athletes that play basketball and football. In recent years, you think Hampton Riedel, Jalen Boyer, Tucker Owens. You go way back, you get Darius Williams, who went on to be a Super Bowl champion and was mainly a basketball player here at Creekside. Way downtown, Cade Patterson got it. Did he give a little shrug after that went down? He doesn't. He can't even explain it. It's now 4 straight threes he sank. Coming off of a great game against Atlantic Coast, in which he was 5 of 9 from three-point land with 17 points. 23 seconds to play in the third quarter. Little floater rolls off the iron. Patterson going the other way. Nearly walked. To the rack. Nelson challenged on the dunk, couldn't finish. 4 seconds. The three from Hampton, no good. And that will take us. Hold up. We got a whistle with 0.1 on the clock. Was that a flopping call? Do they call those in high school? It looked like a flop, but I wasn't sure if they'd call it. Rivers chucks it. It wouldn't have counted anyways. On to the fourth quarter. Creekside in control in the district championship. Start of the fourth quarter, and Flagler Palm Coast will get a trip to the line. Down by 23 in the district championship. The Bulldogs in search of a miracle. First shot good from Corinthians Watson Jr. I'd say that's one of the top names of the season. Corinthians Watson Jr. You're going to remember it. .7:55 to play in the fourth quarter. 49-28 Creekside. Bryce Seymour, Nolan Nelson, El Madawi, jump shot, off the mark. Blaylock trying to race it down, keeps it in place. Seymour goes up, gives to Nelson. Nelson too strong off the glass, puts up a jumper, that's no good. Ball out of bounds, last touch by Flagler Palm Coast. Seymour off the inbound. 51-28, all Creekside. Step back, oh, he had a look for three, passed it up. No good on the jumper. Now Rivers in transition, feeds Blaylock, three-pointer away. Just off the mark. And a foul called against the Knights. Six minutes and 40 seconds to play. Patterson to Seymour. Seymour on the drive. Went a little too far before releasing that. Went off the bottom of the rim. Wild pass to the left corner. Picked up. Knights basketball. Patterson over to Blaylock. Blaylock searching. Finds Patterson. Garen Blaylock. Coming off a screen from Nelson. Feeds Seymour. Nolan Nelson, the pass too far behind Blaylock. Went out on the Knights bench. .6:02 to play. Nate Sean Royal readies for the inbound. Banking it in, Josiah Sanders. Full court press well in effect. Creekside did a nice job against this when Atlantic Coast put it on him. That was something that the Knights struggled against early on in the year. As Patterson again, this one he finally misses. Blaylock to Seymour. On the drive, Bryce Seymour kicks to Grant Stokes. Stokes kicks out to Blaylock, wide open from downtown. And we're going to step away as we got an injured player, Josiah Sanders, down on the floor. We'll be back after this injury timeout. 5:18 to play. Flagler Palm Coast basketball, 54-30. Creekside with the lead. Nate Sean Royal bringing it up the court. On the drive, Hampton is fouled. And whistles before the inbound is the referee going over and talking to El Madawi. Now he gives some words to Mahler. And now we play basketball. No good. Anthony Hampton, Creekside has done a really nice job keeping him quiet. Averages about 17 points per game, and I haven't seen him do anything since I got here. And a warning issued to Flagler Palm Coast. .448 to play. If you're just tuning in, we've been broadcasting since about 6:47 to go in the second quarter. We're carrying girls soccer playoff game earlier, and friendly bounce for Brennan Lee. The three-pointer goes. So we had about, 10 minutes. We were able to close out the broadcast over there and get over here as Lee steals it away. Oh, he got it with the pump fake and finished it off. Brennan Lee with a three and a nice little defensive play and a transition bucket. Mahler, no good on the three ball. Patterson tried to save it. Toledo tried to dunk. He hung onto the rim. What a sequence. Did he try to catch that ball while still hanging onto the rim? I wonder what would have happened if he caught it. Like, was he going to try to dunk that again? I would pay to see him attempt that again. Tyler Jenkins from downtown. That's no good. I think that would have been up there as one of the funniest violations. That wouldn't be a foul. Violations you can commit. Three minutes and 40 seconds to go in the district championship. Anthony Hampton. Steps back. Good defense from Lee and Salig on the help. Fadeaway jump shot is good off the hand of Nate Sean Royal. Official timeout. Timeout Flagler Palm Coast. 3:13 to play. Creekside well on their way to their third straight district championship on Schlick Sports. Nolan Salig gets it in for the Creekside Knights as 59-32 is our score. From the free throw line, nice jump shot from Salig. 61-32 Creekside. 2:55 to play. Oh, crazy layup there from Royal. And his pass couldn't find Watson. It's a Creekside inbound on the baseline. Stokes, back to Salig, into the paint. Nolan Salig finishes it off. .31 advantage for the Knights. Watson gets a shot to fall. Now Dylan Sheets lost control of the basketball, and he touched it last. Miss Rivers trying to settle it, juggle with her foot. Good attempt. Another dead ball, and we're going to do that again. Oh, the sub hadn't completely come off the floor yet. Not often you see that. Mahler, teardrop. Doesn't go. Now a three ball away. That rattles off the iron. Tyler Jenkins gifts it to Brennan Lee. Over to Sheets. Creekside. Brennan Lee, another three. No good. A minute and a half to play. Nice Euro step and a clean finish from Tucker Flynn. Just his second bucket of the year. Stokes banks it in. .50 seconds left. Mahler on the drive. Gives it off. Shot no good from Jackson Waters. Brennan Lee on the other side. Over to Tyler Jenkins. The three. No good. Rebound goes to the Bulldogs. And that's going to be a warning against Greg Shirley. He's got to get off the court. He's playing defense on his own player right there. I think that's going to be free throws for Creekside, if I'm not mistaken. That'd be a second warning. No, it's still Flagler Palm Coast ball. My favorite part was, like, he didn't seem to realize what happened. Like, the ball went right behind him. And he just kept on coaching his guys. Into the paint. Dylan Perry doesn't get it to go. And Dylan Sheets will just walk it up the court. Got to get it across half court in time. He does so. And now the time will tick away as Creekside is officially, for the third straight year, district champions. The Creekside Knights win their 11th straight game. They get the three-peat, and now they hope they get the 1 seed when the brackets release tomorrow for the state playoffs. But for now, that'll do it for our night of coverage here on Schlick Sports. The Creekside Knights, district champions once again. Our final score, Knights 65, Flagler Palm Coast 36. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Have a good night, and I will see you next time on Schlick Sports.